Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, spelled ANNA, for those who were wondering. And I created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only, to really help people understand manifestation the way that I do. Truth be told, I started this channel, the predecessor channel, that is, the link is below. I had to walk away from like 22,000 subscribers for technological reasons, but I started that channel with one purpose in mind, just to kind of elevate the overall consciousness of people through the experiences that I personally had since childhood, and then through my own personal deep dive 15 years ago. I've been a coach for 10 years and 3 years on YouTube now, and I created what's called a signature coaching package. Everything I've learned, everything I understand, all the shortcuts in that sense. I don't think that anybody's so interested in things that don't work, actually, like 10,000 affirmations and all these kind of other cookie cut methods. I created this deep dive method, all right, if you will. It's not therapy, it's not. So I want to manage expectations. It's very much coaching. It does resemble a therapy in that it's obvious. Two people meet and we talk. I hear you out and I give you feedback. Now, I am allowed to give you feedback, right? And I'm allowed to give you guidance. That is not possible to do in therapy. Also, in addition to, I'm not a medical professional, right? So if you really need therapy and emotionally you're not stable yet to receive, feedback, kind of truthful statements about truthful observations in order to help you grow and accomplish things that you really want, which is quantum leap to the higher timeline, maybe therapy first, as I always kind of suggest, and it's in my agreement, all right? This is not a form of therapy. But if you're ready to rock and roll and accomplish things like you haven't dreamed of, I'm sorry, I'm not even boasting or bragging. I truly resonate with people for one reason, because I've been through this myself. A lot of coaches have not. Okay, they're still struggling with those things that they're coaching in. They're not, it's a cookie cut situation. I take pride in designing the coaching process around my client, whatever my client needs. And I think this kind of like personal approach really drives results. I mean, what can I say? The deep dive in and of itself will give me a lot of information on what I call your blueprint, your belief system, and what I need to work on. And this is what we kind of go through in the beginning of my coaching. The middle part is processing a lot of what happened, reconstructing it in your mind, reconstructing your belief system. And towards the end, and this is symbolic, it could be, one session could be dedicated to this or to that, or however we go with the flow, whatever the client needs. But towards the end, you feel more like savvy and sophisticated to start really experimenting and thus experiencing, sorry, experiencing results already. I mean, I've had clients that I've had them a week in my coaching and they're speak called or returned or whatever, so it depends on your situation. But towards the end, usually, right, you are feeling completely savvy and completely ready. Why? Your energy has changed. You've left a lot of mama drama panorama on the table. You've processed a lot of, you've parted with that timeline, in other words. So at that point, towards like third month, I usually recommend 2 to 3 months, you feel like you've quantum leap because you no longer are energetically linked to that timeline. And again, only a metaphysical coach can do this. This cannot, absolutely, I know it cannot be accomplished in therapy. Don't dream of it, okay? I know it for a fact. So if you're really serious and you're really concentrated and you come ready to work, it's possible to do it in 3 months. Now, somewhere down the road, people come back for touch-ups, this and that. Depends on the person. It's not the same intense process because I meet in the signature coaching package 3 times per week with you. A session is an hour. Everything's recorded. You'll find it all in my coaching agreement. If you want to start this process, by the way, you need to first book an hour session and we rendezvous. We talk about what you need to work on, and then you book the monthly, okay? Just to be clear. But the touch-ups, it happens. happens in a less intense manner. The person usually books the touch-up package of the 5 sessions, and you can use these sessions whenever. Like there's no schedule in that sense. When you're in my coaching, again, it's intense. You have your own schedule 3 times per week. It's very kind of like, you're going to church situation. You're going to school. I mean, it's real. So, and this affords you, this discipline, quite frankly, that you might need right now. Not only just processing emotions, parting with the timeline, but implementing a new structure into your world, like really unfucking your life, becoming the golden Buddha that you're supposed to be, that that you're supposed to be. You feel this calling within your heart for a reason. And that's what happened to me 15 years ago. Like, I just broke free from that stupid shit cycle that I've been living in my own personal life for, it seemed like eternity at that point. At 29 years old, I finally walked out of the last fucking toxic relationship, and I never looked back since. And this is, because I've had, again, personal experience, I very much feel linked to my clients because I feel their pain. I know why it happens, what happens, with the cycles of not encountering DSP, not having proposals, not having commitment, not having shit, and in fact, having third parties galore and this and that. I've lived, like, you name it, I've lived it. So I feel like this is why I connect with the people, and provided my personality resonates with you, please check out, again, my other channel and book a session if you want to be in my coaching, all right? So guys, this is a new channel, as I've mentioned, so big subscribe and big thumbs up. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. So I really feel inspired to do a part 2 to how to make the third party be gone. This is not an evil laugh. No, no. I just think it's such a funny kind of situation. Be gone, third party. Kind of like you're creating some kind of a spell. But really the spell you're putting on is yourself, right? As we agree, hopefully. So look at this. 2 things I really wanted. I'm burning to say in this audio. And again, I'm always channeling in my sessions and on my channel, just, guys who are getting to know me. Because I see a lot of views, so let's convert them into subscribers. As I said, you learn a lot on this channel, I believe. I know. You're not you're posing as somebody not important in your own reality. That's problem number 1. And you're putting so much importance on this third party that they have now overtaken, it seems like, over the joy to live in your reality. That's a problem, darling. I mean, and I've lived it. Like I said in the intro, I've lived that shit. It fucking sucks ass. Like, what am I, chopped liver over here? Like, how could you? And it sucks even worse if you're like the better candidate, so to speak, right? Because you're like, I don't even know like how to accommodate you, like how to become better or whatever. Like, and you look at yourself and you're like, wait a minute, like I have all my ducks in a row. I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm very savvy, I'm good at what I do, dooba 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 doo. Has nothing to do with that though. You see, everything has to do with confidence. So the vibe right now that you have of yourself is that you're not important. You're not hot shit. You're not the hottest chick in the game. Somebody else, you placed the hottest chick in the game status on somebody else. Like, and at the same time, if it's like I said in the previous audio, the part 1, if the quality of the third party is kind of shitty, which usually it is for some reason, it's kind of like the universe telling you, like, look, okay, fine, you manifested this third party, but I'm going to make it shit just to be benevolent towards you, just for you to realize it's just a fear, no problem there. Just remind yourself that you're in charge and this will be gone. They will go. When you start being in charge and when your attention is more on yourself and you say, no, this is actually my reality. I am in charge over here. I'm going to decide what happens. You have absolutely no say. Not in like an evil sense, but like for real, I get to go to whatever reality I please. So if I want to go to a reality where you're no longer there, that is entirely a benevolent choice, hurting nobody. And so if I want to go back to the reality where I rule the world, okay, not in a narcissistic sense, but I'm placing the importance of on myself. They're not, no, they cannot be this important in my world. They're absolutely non-important. They completely lost their importance. It's like, last year's fall leaves disintegrating into the earth kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like yesterday's newspaper doesn't even begin to cover. Like it's a misunderstanding, as I said in the first audio. But you yourself imbued that third party. You gave them that fucking throne. You gave them that fucking crown. Disencrown them. Dethrone them. Okay? You are so in charge right now that you're suffering and you're crying and this and that. You're giving them that power. Stop that shit. Do not give them emotional power over you. It's not like again, don't make them more powerful. It's like this is your creation, and then on top of it, you're giving them the power. No, get off your ass and start making decisions. This ends here. And then it's up to you to, again, just like massage your brain like it's really going to happen. I don't have to suffer anymore. I can stop suffering right here, right now. Okay? Like I don't need to continue on this timeline whatsoever. I can choose myself again. I can think nice thoughts. I can take care of myself nicely. I can place importance back on myself, make myself the hottest chick in the game. And you see where coaching comes in very handy again, because I agree, it's very hard to do it on your own. All right. It was hard when I was doing it on my own. It took me years, a couple of years or something. The whole reason, right? The whole reason that the third party showed up is like you literally produced them out of your fears that you're not good enough. That you're not good. They're teaching you a very invaluable lesson that you'll never fucking forget again. You'll never slip up so much that you are absorbing this idea, which is completely bogus, probably from Mama Drama Panorama, absorbed from mom or dad or somebody. Okay. And not for nothing. Listen, people in their 40s and 50s in particular had parents, growing up during difficult times. I mean, and even older, even worse times, in some cases. So maybe not so much of a fault of their own, but somebody along the line convinced you you're not all that. And that's where the trouble starts. And, I mean, if you're not all that, then why would your SP choose you? Kind of situation. But you are. You see, you got so fucked in your mind by your parents or by whoever that you started accepting that you're not all that. In the meantime, though, the whole fucking world around you can see that you are all that. Ain't that some shit? And so you're like the hottest chick in the game. In reality, you're all that, and you have all these beautiful attributes of blah, 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 and you don't have your SP. How the fuck does that work? It doesn't. It looks weird. It looks weird, man. You should have your darling SP. So as I said before, it has nothing to do with looks. It has to do the appearance or anything like that. It has everything to do with how you're vibrating. If you're not vibrating like the hottest chick in your reality, I don't know what you're doing. Right? So that's where you belong kind of situation. Because remember, the more dominant of two ideas will always win over, as Neville used to say. The more dominant of thoughts, the more dominant of ideas, the more dominant of emotions. What is the dominant idea? I mean, really, shall we talk honestly? Your whole life, you were a people pleaser. You gave away all the good shit to other people. I mean, even the situation, and as I again said in the audio number 1, is like you being a people pleaser by letting somebody else take your shit. Kind of situation. Vibrationally speaking, become dominant in your reality. And again, in my coaching, I forgot to mention in the intro, I teach energy work. Become more energetically imbued with your divinity, with your divine right, with the divine access to the golden Buddha status, the golden Buddha timeline. What does that represent? Everything and anything you've ever wanted. No exaggerations. Just a custom made world, really just designed by you before you ever came here so that you can enjoy it if you'll allow yourself to do that. But if you start forgetting that you're the golden Buddha, your energy shrinks, and the prevalent energy in your life is that of, let's just say, jealousy. I mean, let's be real again. In the case of third party, or some kind of fear of losing them completely, right? Or having lost, or whatever, or some kind of feeling of inadequacy, insecurity, all of that. That is not your real self. And so, but you shrunk yourself to this like little person who you don't actually belong being. And the universe will never support that shit. The universe wants you to come out and in all your and be loud and proud and brave in all your glory. Stand up for your fucking shit. That's why I believe in standing up for myself. You do have to stand up for yourself energetically also in this position, especially in this position with a third party. Like, again, what are you doing with my stuff? But see, the people pleaser in you has not been this protective of you, has not been this determined, has not been this kind and loving towards yourself. You let people walk all over you. Stop doing that shit. Stop allowing certain things to happen to you, because deep down, honestly, you accept them. On some level, I hate to be, the kind of like bearer of kind of harsh words perhaps, but it's on some level you accept it, because to you subconsciously you're saying to yourself, that makes sense. That makes sense. I've yet to coach a person who underneath it all either did not fear it prior to the third party showing up, or literally did not predict it, shall we say. All right. So they just constructed it themselves, kind of situation, like knowing right before the manifestation, fearing, in fact, the very thing that they encountered later. So, but like, see again, though, like transmute this through the lens of your power, though. I'm so fucking powerful. I'm able to create a whole fucking shebang of a situation. What do I need to do to unshebang this? I need to become a different person. I can't be the same little fucking person that I'm pretending to fucking be, that everybody knows that I'm not. I need to believe in myself more, in my power, in my universal divine power, in reclaiming my golden Buddha status. And so that kind of segues perfectly in the second thing that I really wanted to say. You cannot be the same person who created this fucking shit. Again, on some level, you accepted it. Now you don't accept it. Again, like Neville said, just happens to be that I quoted him twice today. So that is not my preference anymore, to be less than who I am. It's just a decision away. You know what? I've had it. Just like I've had it. Like, how much more can I put up with this situation? I cannot be the same person. And so it's internal. It has nothing to do with arguing with your SP, or what, you know what I mean? Ganging up on a third party or whatever. Not that you would. I think you're an intelligent audience here. But the thing is, it's not about the physicality. It's all a change of mind from I'm not that important to commit to I am the only person this person ever wants to even like talk to. In reality, they really are feeding off of my good energy. They really appreciate my presence in their life. They really are accommodating. I'm the apple of their eye. Now, when I say this, okay, I really want to say, like, I want you to experience all of this, but I don't want you to treat it as a drug, in that this is my validation. No, if you really love yourself, if you really, and this is the paradox, right? It only happens when you really love yourself. But if you really love yourself, you're not depending on this. It naturally comes with this world. I really want you to get this little part. Right? You're not manifesting it because of this, like, oh, that would be so wonderful. No, that comes standard with that personality. But that reality that you really want to live out, there's a certain personality that expects that shit. Okay, meaning like, this is how I roll. It's not to feed my ego, it just comes naturally to me. You see, when I feel like that person, I mean, the reality is my kind of like copycat, in a sense. The reality is my copycat. So look how easy. If I start in the beginning emulating this reality, emulating this personality that is completely relaxed, somehow, some way relaxing, no, in the knowing that they're the hottest chick in the game, that they simply misunderstood themselves and therefore the whole world misunderstood them, including your SP. Okay, it's just, I'm telling you, the whole world mimics you, the whole universe is mimicking you. So what do you have to do? Gain the energy of the hottest chick or the hottest dude in the game. Sorry, fellas, if I left you out there for a couple of times. That's the energy that has to be created. And you, like the Golden Buddha, you can sit in meditation daily and achieve that result. And again, through energy work that I teach meticulously to my clients one-on-one, because it's a custom made, again, process based on who you are, what your background is, your experiences. You have a palette of experiences right now in your life, in the library of your past, that you can use to effectively like maneuver energy all in your favor. And I teach people how to, I mean, I teach way, way more than that in the energy work, but as an example, but it makes you the king or the queen of your reality. And that's what I mean. When you're the most dominant power, when you're the most dominant idea, everything goes your way. This has nothing to do with being narcissistic. This has everything to do with being fucking responsible. If you're not making it happen, if you're not claiming your throne, if you're not claiming energetically your SP, and you continuing to just be pissed off, as I've mentioned in the first audio, it's not going to happen. You're going to have to become a different version of yourself. Because when you really start changing your mind and fundamentally grasping who you really are, you're going to look at the same situation and you're going to be like, I really can't believe I was worried. What the fuck was I worried about? See, you're so much in your head right now with your insecurities. This is 100% true. With your own mama drama panorama, that this third party evokes this emotion out of you of inadequacy, of being less than, just reinforcing that, right? Because it's kind of like a vicious circle. And this emotion keeps them going, right? Cut the emotion, they're fucking begone. So becoming this person that like you've made yourself small, now you're making yourself big energetically speaking, and you're taking your throne, making the third party a non-issue with confidence, walking into the situation now, brand fucking new. Watch how it's going to turn around. Again, energetically, if you start vibrating confidence versus fear, and look at all your fears coming true and the social media and mumbo jumbo, this is again a road to fucking nowhere. You got to get a hold of your reality at some point, right? And start placing the importance on you. No, we have a wonderful relationship, not in a competitive way. Like you can't compete if you can't compare, okay? Kind of situation. So the third party doesn't fucking compare to you. You need to remember that. Again, all has to do with self-love and self-confidence. Like, look at all these wonderful things about me. Look at all these wonderful things about my life. Excuse me, I'm a hot fucking shit over here. Hot catch. Anybody would be happy to have me. But you see, your heart is not there right now. I bet you money. This is why the situation. Because all you want right now is a band-aid for a huge wound. For them to call you and suddenly drop the third party out of the blue. It's not going to happen like that. I hate to tell you that. Again, I hate to be the bearer of harsh words, but it is not. No magic potion, no magic spell. Parenthesis here, I don't do magic spells. If anybody's listening to my content, actually listening and not just like being a hater, okay, they would know that what I mean by magic spell is very powerful intention. I only called it symbolically because my channel is called Magic and Miracles. Hello, duh. Haters are fucking stupid, not fun. It takes to be stupid to be a hater. I mean, that's reality. But no potion on earth can replace that. No potion, no so-called magic spell, no nothing. Your vibration trumps everything. Gain control of your vibration and then start deciding, okay, now I'm peaceful and now I'm calm. All right. Now I'm really calm and I understand that I made a mistake. I made a misjudgment about myself. And this is the repercussions of my misjudgment. My bad kind of situation. Let me regroup. Let me recalibrate. How do I want to continue playing this game? Not play it at all. And start claiming back my golden Buddha status and start reinforcing my energy with my dreams. What do I actually prefer to happen? It's a lot easier, guys. It's a lot easier to dream of what you want versus like dwell on what you don't want. It's also the shortcut to getting whatever the fuck you please, right? But all of these other things like fears and the reproductions of your fears in terms of like third parties and this and that, they can really derail you if you continue paying attention to the shit show. You need to start deciding what's going to happen next. The reality of things is that at some point you agree to this third party. And just like this reality happens to be just a theater, just a play, okay, in which you hired this actor or actress, you can also fire the fucker, okay, and say, thank you very much. Listen, being nice, no resentment, like I said in the first audio. Just say, you played your part so beautifully. Thank you so much. Without you, I wouldn't understand so many things. Now that I understand that I'm the queen sorry, now that I understand that I am the king or the queen of my reality, you can go. You're fired. You can go now. You can. Thank you very much for the role. You've been invaluable in that sense. And it's true. Like I said, it's true. You'll never forget this experience in your fucking life because it was painful. But through pain, we'll learn. I know it's fucked up, but I didn't make the rules. Okay. Through discomfort, we really learn certain things about ourselves. And does the discomfort then has to continue to such a degree? No. I think the further away in your mindset you get away from the golden Buddha status, the more painful it gets. But you don't ever have to, let it drag on for so long, right? It could be resolved in a day once you have control over the peace at your heart and not playing any games of your fears or insecurities, just peacefully declaring what you want to happen. I've made a mistake before. I'm changing my mind. This is what I want. And if you can do it impartially, and I understand, again, that this is very difficult to do, okay, and difficult to do on your own, which is why I offer coaching, okay? It's not easy, but this is what needs to happen, the changeover of this energy. Completely impartially, parting with the old timeline, thanking it, thank you very much, okay? Not thank you very fucking much, but thank you very much indeed. Now I'm making an artistic choice of becoming this person, this savvy magician, okay, who's going to create on purpose, no more haphazardly. And so I'm gravitating. It feels more peaceful. It feels more loving towards myself. I'm gravitating towards the solution, which is, in this case, DSP. Something happens. Again, like I said, you do not need to devise anything. You just peacefully accept that this is your guy now. This is your girl. And just let it play out. It's going to be genius what's going to happen. If you just focus on that, they're already with you. Forget about the third party. Focus on you. Focus on your relationship. This is your preference. This is your dominant energy in your universe. The beautiful things that you've shared, the beautiful words that you've exchanged, the beautiful feeling that you've had, the special connection that you share across all lifetimes and time and space, okay? That fuzzy warm feeling with this person that cannot be fucking replicated. Amp it up. Amp up your specialness. Amp up your golden Buddha status. And don't ever fucking forget how you did it and keep it. That's the way to keep it, to never forget that you're the golden Buddha and that you belong in the golden Buddha status forever. Thank you very much for listening. All the information from me again is below. Until next time, ciao, ciao.